Good morning, students. In the last session, we have studied about friendly microorganisms or useful microorganisms. So in this session, I'm going to teach harmful microorganisms. What is it means? There are some microorganisms or microbes. They are harmful to us. In the previous session, I told they make different types of diseases to us. At the same time, there are friendly microorganisms. They are very useful to us. Microorganisms are harmful in many ways. Some of the microorganisms cause diseases in human beings, plants, and in animals. So they cause different types of diseases in human beings as well as in plants and animals. Such disease causing microorganisms are called pathogens. So what is meant by pathogens? Disease causing microorganisms. Okay, so there are variety of millions of microbes that some are very few are useful, but majority they are very harmful to us. Such disease causing microorganisms, such microorganisms are called pathogens. Pathogens enter our body through the air we breathe, the water we drink, and the food we eat. So it can enter into our body through different ways. Through the air, while breathing time, we take an oxygen. So along with that air, they may enter into our body, and sometimes through water. So when we drink water through the water, it may be the contaminated water, it may enter into the body, or through the food we eat. They can also get transmitted by direct contact with an infected person or carried through an animal. And also other ways how we are getting different types of microbes or diseases. They get transmitted by direct contact. Suppose one person is getting cold, cough or something. Okay, you are sitting, you think your friend has cold and cough and even bacterial infection or some fever. Suppose you are sitting next to him, you are touching. Suppose wherever he is sitting, that microbes will be there. Wherever he is touching, suppose maybe his kerchiefs or dress or with contact, so you also will be getting that disease from the infected person, direct contact, or carried through an animal. Okay, one example, mosquitoes. There are different small organisms there. If you are taking the mosquito, you know, we are getting different types of fever through mosquito, malaria, dengue fever, chikungunya, all these are we are getting through the mosquitoes. So that is the meaning of carried through an animal. Microbial diseases that can spread from an infected person to a healthy person through air, water, food, or physical contact are called communicable diseases. So, what is meant by communicable diseases? Diseases that can be spread from an infected person to a healthy person through air, water, food, or physical contact. They are called communicable diseases. Examples are for this disease cholera, common cold, chickenpox, tuberculosis, etc. When a person suffering from common cold sneezes, finds droplets of moisture carrying thousands of viruses are spread in the air. The virus may enter the body of the healthy person while breathing. That is happening. So even teachers will tell if you are sick, you don't come to school, sit at home. Because we are coming to school, you will come, you will sneeze or cough, all the viruses, the droplets, it consists of thousands of viruses. It will spread in the air. So other children, they will breathe, they also will be getting that virus. Clear? So when a person suffering from common cold sneezes, find droplets of moisture carrying thousands of viruses are spread in the air, the virus may enter the body of a healthy person while breathing. Then, next, harmful microorganisms. There are some insects and animals. Some insects and animals which act as carriers of disease-causing microbes. I told just now mosquitoes. Housefly is one such carrier. Same like mosquito is another carrier, housefly. The flies sit on the garbage and animal excreta. The pathogens stick to their bodies. When these flies sit on the uncovered food, they may transfer the pathogens. Whoever eats the contaminated food is likely to get sick. Clear? So these flies usually to get the food to eat this garbage or waste food, where they will sit, they sit on the garbage or animal excreta. Usually they will sit on this. Then what will happen? There is a pathogens or microbes. This is causing microbes. They stick to their bodies. The same fly, when these flies sit on uncovered food, they will come to our house. They will suppose our food is kept on the table without covering, or you are eating some food from outside, you think. So we don't know how much clean it is, hygiene it is. So what is happening? These flies sit on uncovered food. They may transfer the pathogens into that food. Whoever eats the contaminated food is likely to get sick. So that is housefly is one such carrier. So whenever you keep food every at home or wherever it may be, every time you should cover it should be covered. Okay. Otherwise, this will happen. Then mosquito is another carrier. Examples of carriers are the female Anopheles mosquito, which carries a parasite of malaria. Female, there is a male and female Culex and Anopheles mosquitoes. There are different types of mosquitoes. Here, the female mosquito, female Anopheles mosquito, which carries the parasite of malaria. Female Aedes mosquito act as a carrier of dengue fever. So different mosquitoes carry different types of viruses. So some people will be getting dengue fever. It was common in many days, still it's going on. So the carrier, which mosquito? Female Aedes mosquito. Then female Anopheles mosquito, which carries the parasite of malaria. Female Aedes mosquito act as carrier of dengue virus. All mosquitoes breed in water. Hence, one should not let water collect anywhere, in coolers, tires, flower pot, etc. By keeping the surroundings clean and dry, we can prevent mosquitoes from breeding. So if any stagnant water, if it is there, what will happen? The mosquito will come and lay eggs. Okay, would have seen that suppose one or 2 days it was raining, then rain stop. So after the rain, you can see that in some places there is a water is collected or stagnant water you can see. So the mosquitoes will lay eggs in that, thousands of eggs. Then after 2 days, you can see that everything will hatch out. Then millions of or thousands of mosquitoes will form. Okay, the number will increase and they will make different types of diseases. So always we have to keep our surroundings clean and dry. Okay, so even mosquitoes, you can see that they are using nowadays, evening times people, they are using the smoke to kill that insects. To why we are doing all this? To avoid all such a type of diseases. Clear? So always we have to keep our surroundings clean and dry. Should not allow to stay water or stagnant water or collect water anywhere. Then some common human diseases caused by microorganisms. Human disease, which is a causative microorganism, bacteria or virus or protozoa. The next, mode of transmission, how it will spread, how the mode of transmission, or the person will get the disease through air or water or food or mosquito. The last one is preventive measures, how we can prevent them generally. Okay, so first one is tuberculosis. The causative organism, it is a bacteria. Mode of transmission, it is through air. What is the preventive measures? Keep the patient in complete isolation. Clear? So this, after that again I am telling 2-3 diseases: measles, chickenpox, polio, all these diseases. But measles, it's by virus. Even chickenpox, it's virus. Then this all mode of transmission, it is air. Measles, air or direct contact. Then chickenpox virus, it is also air or through water. Clear? So what do you have to do for all these preventive measures? Keep the patient in complete isolation. Keep the person belongings of the patient away from those of others. Vaccines to be given at suitable age. So these are the 3 things you're supposed to do. First one is keeping the patient in complete isolation. The person should be separate from others. Keep the personal belongings of the patient away from those of others. Okay, the person is using one plate or dress, it should be away from others. So others should not use the same dress or the same plate or something, whatever. Then vaccination should be given at a suitable age. Okay, we can give the vaccination at the suitable age. The next one is cholera, typhoid. Cholera is caused by bacteria, even typhoid caused by bacteria. Is usually mode of transmission through water or food or water. So what are the preventive measures? Maintain personal hygiene and good sanitary habits. Consume properly cooked food. So when you cook the food, it kills all the germs or microbes. And boil drinking water. Always try to drink boiled water. Boil the water means it kills all germs. Then you can drink it. Boil drinking water, then vaccination. Clear. So what are the preventive measures? So cholera and typhoid, usually it is causative organism, it is bacteria, it is spreading through water or food. Maintain personal hygiene and good sanitary habits. Second, consume properly cooked food and boiled drinking water. Then vaccination. Hepatitis A, it is caused by virus. Mode of transmission is through water. Then preventive measures, drink boiled drinking water and vaccination. Hepatitis, it's a viral disease spreading through water. So always drink boiled drinking water. Water you should boil and drink, and you can also take vaccination for that. Then malaria causative organism, it is a protozoa. Then it's a mode of transmission, mosquitoes, through mosquitoes. Okay, here, which microbe it is protozoa, not bacteria, not virus, it's a protozoa. How it is spreading? Through mosquitoes. So use mosquito net and repellents. Spray insecticides and control breeding of yes, control breeding of mosquitoes. So you can use mosquito net and repellents, same like spray insecticides and control breeding of mosquitoes. It should not allow to, I told, should not allow stagnant water or to any place. Okay, so these are the preventive measures. Then which are the disease causing microorganisms in animals? Okay. Several microorganisms not only cause diseases in humans and plants, but also in other animals. For example, anthrax. You would have heard it, anthrax. It's a dangerous human and cattle disease. This anthrax disease, it's a dangerous human and cattle disease caused by a bacterium. Who is a causative agent? That is a bacteria or bacterium. Foot and mouth disease of cattle is caused by a virus. Same like another disease, foot and mouth disease. Usually the disease, it will come for cattle. It is caused by virus. It's not a bacteria, it is caused by virus. Robert Koch in 1876 discovered the bacterium Bacillus anthracis, which causes anthrax disease. So this anthrax disease, we told just now, it is caused by a bacterium. So who found out that? Robert Koch in 1876. He discovered the bacterium. What is the name of the bacterium? Bacillus anthracis. Bacillus anthracis, which causes anthrax disease. The next is disease causing microorganisms in plant. Okay, so these microbes, it causes diseases in plants, animals, and in humans for all living organisms. So which are the different types of disease coming for this plants? Several microorganisms cause diseases in plants like wheat, rice, potato, sugarcane, orange, apple, and others. The disease reduce the yield of crops. So once, what will happen? Once the disease will come, it will produce, automatically it produce the yield of crops. They can be controlled by the use of certain chemicals which kill the microbes. So usually the people, you can see that they will be using pesticides or insecticides. So pesticides which used to kill pests, or insecticides which used to kill insects. So actually it's not good, but no other way, because the same fruit and vegetables, even we will be eating, we will get all these chemicals into our body, or poison or toxic substance, it will enter into the body. But still people are using this. They can be controlled by use of certain chemicals which kill the microbes. You can see here there are different types of diseases. You would have seen all these for this plant. These are actually microbial diseases. Okay. Some common plant diseases caused by microorganisms. One is citrus canker. Here the microorganism is a bacteria. It's a mode of transmission, it's through air. Okay, this is called citrus. Usually it will affect the citrus fruits, lemon or orange or mosambi, like there is citrus fruits. The disease, it is called what? It is called a citrus canker. It's a bacterial disease. It's spreading through air. See, you can see that. Next one is rust of wheat. It's a fungal disease. Microorganism is fungus. Mode of transmission through air and also through seeds. You can see here mainly it is affecting this wheat or grains, mainly rust of wheat. Usually it is mainly for the wheat. It is called a rust of wheat. It's a fungal disease. It's spreading through air and seeds. The next one is yellow vein mosaic of bindi or okra. It's a viral disease. It is spreading through insect. How it is spreading? It's spreading through the insects. Okay, you can see here. So what is the disease name? yellow vein mosaic. That veins it's getting yellowish color. You can see here yellow vein mosaic of bean tea okra. It's a the causative organism, microorganism, that is virus. It's spreading through insects. Okay, so these are some diseases caused by microbes in plants. The next one is food preservation. All of you know what is meant by food preservation. Means we have to preserve food for a long period of time without spoiling. That is called food preservation. Okay, the food, suppose today we will cook food. If there is excess food, we will keep inside the refrigerator. Maybe one more day we can use it. Actually, it's not good, but still we are doing that. Then what are the other preservative methods? We can, some foods we can keep for without spoiling, we can keep it for a long period of time. That is called food preservation. Okay, let us see what are the food preservative methods. Food is spoiled by microorganisms. Spoiled food has bad smell and bad taste and causes food poisoning. Food can be preserved by protecting it from microorganisms. So how we can protect the food? Food can be preserved by different methods. They are chemical method, by using common salt, by using sugar, by using oil and vinegar, by heat and cold treatments. So these are the different methods. First one is chemical method. Food like pickles can be preserved by using chemicals like salts and edible oils. You would have seen that whenever your parents make food or when you buy pickle from outside, you can see that they will be adding more salt or oil into that. Okay, so food like pickles can be preserved. How we can preserve? By using chemicals like salts and edible oils. Jams and squashes can be preserved by using sodium benzoate, sodium metabisulfate. These chemicals are called preservatives. Okay, so whenever you buy a sauce, jam or squash, you can see that we can keep it for many days without spoiling. How it is, it's they're using some preservatives into that. So they preserved by using sodium benzoate, sodium metabisulfate. These chemicals are called preservatives. Clear? The second one is by using common salt. Food items like fish, meat, raw mangoes, tamarind, etc. can be preserved by using common salt. It prevents the growth of microbes. Okay, some dry fish, um, that fish we can dry it, mixes with the salt, and we can keep it for a few days. Dry fishes, even same like meat, dry meat, even raw mangoes. Mangoes also you can see that sometimes we will cut into small pieces. We will add salt. We will dry it in the sunlight. Why we are drying in the sunlight? To remove all the moisture content or water content. Even same like tamarind also. Tamarind also we will mix with the salt and we will dry it in the sunlight to remove all the moisture or water content, and we can keep it for many days. Okay, that can be, so that is by using common salt. It's one of the method. It can be preserved. All this type it can be preserved by using common salt. It prevents the growth of microbes. Same like by using sugar. Food items like jams, jellies, squashes, etc. It can be preserved by using sugar solution. It prevents the growth of microbes. Clear? So that is the reason jams also, all this we can keep for a long period of time because they are adding more sugar solution. It prevents the growth of microbes. By using oil and vinegar, vinegar formula, it's acetic acid. Actually, vinegar means acetic acid. By using oil and vinegar, food items like pickles, vegetables, fish, meat, etc. are preserved by using oil and vinegar. It prevents the growth of microorganisms. So all these pickles, vegetables, we will keep cucumber, all this, many bitter gourd, all this dry form. Okay, how we can add vinegar and oil, or also we can add salt into that. So it will last for many days. It prevents the growth of microbes. Clear? So food items like pickles, vegetables, fish, meat, etc. they are preserved by using oil and vinegar. By heat and cold treatments, heating food items kills microbes. Okay, so there is a reason we are boiling water. When you boil water, what is happening? It kills all the microbes. Even whenever any dish or we will make it, sometime you can see that your parents or your mother, she will boil it nicely. What is the reason? It's boil it or heating it. Heating food items, it kills microbes. Similarly, storing food items at low temperature prevents growth of microbes. That is the reason we are keeping inside the refrigerator. Storing food items at low temperature, very low temperature, it prevents growth of microbes. Okay, so these are the different preservative methods. Chemical method, by using common salt, by using sugar, by using oil and vinegar, by heat and cold treatments. Here you can see that pasteurization. What is meant by pasteurization? The process of heating milk to about 70 degrees Celsius for 15 to 30 seconds and then suddenly chilling it to prevent the growth of microbes is called pasteurization. This process was discovered by Louis Pasteur. What we will do? We will take the milk. You know what is the boiling point? Boiling point, it is 100 degrees Celsius. It means the milk no need to boil it. Usually the boiling point of water, it is 100 degrees Celsius. The boiling point of different liquid, it is different. So here we are heating milk to 70 degrees Celsius. How long time? 15 to 30 seconds. 70 degrees Celsius, 15 to 30 seconds, and then suddenly chilling it to prevent the growth of microbes is called, that process is called pasteurization. Who invented this process first? The process was discovered by Louis Pasteur. Next, by storage and packing, many food items are stored in airtight containers to protect them from microbes. So many food items, usually airtight means they will make it vacuum, they will remove the air from the container. So there is no air. If there is air, it means what will happen? The air which contains moisture, it contains different types of gases, moisture, and also the microbes. Their food will get spoiled. So they will remove the air and they will pack fill the food or whatever it may be. So many food items are stored in airtight containers to protect them from microbes. They will remove the air from the container and then they will be uh, filling the food into that. Thank you, students.